Wait, I miss.
Papa was a Rolling Stone, but now I got Rolling Stones in the bezel. Ice. Mama at home all alone, hustling, trying to keep this shit together. Mama, young nigga.
The Migos. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I dropped y'all off in Nowhereville, but listen, the Migos is one of my favorite groups. And the reason why, because the Migos, they represent something of the past with a up-to-date twist. Their style can be compared to Triple Six Mafia, Lord Infamous. A lot of other people rap like that, in patterns and on top of each other. They didn't start that, but they did make sure that it was the dopest thing you heard. It was entertaining. They made ad-libs dope again. Listen, before the Migos, ad-libs had fell off. They made ad-libs entertaining again, bro. They was catchy. Videos, I'm talking at second wave, I ain't talking about the Yearn. Videos was amazing, bro. I missed the Migos. It was something about when you heard their song for the first time, it was captivating. They knew how to bring it in slow, bring it in fast, drop the beat. Everything, it almost like a group like that knew they was the end of all eras. And the one thing that makes me mad about the Migos is they didn't get phased out. They didn't reach their full potential. They let their egos eclipse the legacy that they was already creating. To me, the Migos is going to be the rap version of TLC. Forgotten. Y'all niggas be drinking, but y'all forgot. When I was coming up, bro, it wasn't nobody on TV more than TLC. TLC was everywhere. They was on TV shows. They was on 2-3 different channels at one time. They was on movies. There was posters. You had your favorite TLC person. Bro, TLC was the best thing smoking. Now let's go 20 years later. I don't see no Lifetime Achievement Award for TLC. I don't see no Rock and Roll Hall of Fame TLC. I don't see no, who inspired me TLC, even though a lot of people got their style from TLC. TLC showed a lot of women how to get in this game and stay in this game, bro. They dominated. But because their time was cut short by ego, we didn't see it come to full circle, whether we want to admit it or not. And because we didn't see it come to full circle, we deemed them a 90s act when they're not. They're bigger than whatever was going on in the 90s. If you would have put TLC in any era, they would have dominated. They would have flourished. But because they didn't reach their full potential, you can't credit them as one of the greatest groups, one of the greatest female groups, one of the greatest R&B groups, one of those groups that helped blur the line between pop and R&B. See, if they would have reached their full potential, and I think their expiration date probably would have been like 2005. You would have got a 2005 world tour, and then it would have eased out perfectly. But they split up, and before they was able to come back together, Lisa Left Eye died. Do this story sound familiar? Lisa Left Eye died, and they tried to come back together as a twosome. But if we used to seeing 3, we used to seeing 3. You can't hit me with that. If we used to seeing 3, we used to seeing 3. And it's the same type of person that dies. It's the secret sauce dies. See, one thing about the Migos, let's bounce back now. Follow me now. The Migos have 2 leaders. You have the flamboyant one, and you have this street rebel one. Perfect. Do this sound familiar? Let's go to TLC. You have the sexy one, then you have this too cool for school one. But it's that secret sauce that people look over. See, Takeoff was the secret sauce of the Migos. He didn't talk as much. He didn't need to be out front, because why compete with these other 2? He was in the background, but in the studio, he in the front, because he understands their sound better than them. They only understand their sound because they see their contribution. He see the overall arc. You can see when you talk to him. When you see any interviews, he show you. He understand more than they understand. See, Takeoff was the secret sauce, and without him, you can't make it happen. He was the flow, and they gave him his flowers once. They told him he's the reason why they are who they are. And man, I wish they would have reminisced off that moment during the tough times, because that would have kept them all together. Sometimes when all y'all together, y'all keep each other from harm's way. It's when y'all not paying attention and you're lacking, then the devil sneaks in and do some things that nobody can ever repair from. This group cannot repair from that. They can't. Let's bounce back over to TLC. You got your sexy one, too cool for school. Your secret sauce was that energy. Chili and T-Boz. This is weird because you never see this in any other group, including the Migos. Chili and T.I.'s did not have enough star power to go solo, but Left Eye did. In the 2000s, I bet you Left Eye could have went solo and been just as impactful as the artist that was in that era. She wouldn't have been as big as TLC collectively. And that's what she didn't realize. She could never be bigger than that because that was a once-in-a-lifetime type of group. And they've been trying to duplicate that, and they can't. You can't duplicate that type of group. You seen them go from young to sexy. I remember when I first seen them, I was like, oh my God. You seen them from What About Your Friends to Creep. And then you see something, you go, oh my God, hold on. They just did something to me. They ain't the cute little girls with the big jeans no more. They got the stomachs out. Hold on. But back to that secret sauce. See, the secret sauce is somebody like Lisa Left Eye. She had that energy, that power, that look at me. You remember when they was talking about how they didn't have any money and they let Lisa Left Eye talk? And if you remember when she was talking, she was commanding them as she was talking about the problem. Watch it. That's the secret sauce. What you're looking at is the secret sauce in front of you. What you're looking at is the one thing why, when I want to say, whoever tried to do the group, I want to say that was Black. Was that Black? Banquet, whatever the name was? Boom Like a 808? That group? When they tried to do the same formula, it didn't pop because you can add the same type of people, sexy, cool, crazy. But if they're not the exact same people, it just don't flow. God bless that group. If you hear the origins, that group was meant to be what they were. And even though people try to make them come off slutty, if you hear what happened behind, they still came off as inspirational. But they get erased from history because they did not reach their full potential. That's what makes you great, when you reach that pinnacle. Because it only gonna come around once. You reach it and you like, wow. And there's no coming down because you are immortal. TLC, nobody give TLC no type of respect because they did not reach that pinnacle. And the same thing is gonna happen to the Migos. The Migos is gonna be a early 2010 group. That's it. That's it. They're not gonna be nothing more. And here's the thing. Takeoff did not have more star power than Offset and Quavo. He didn't, but he have a certain musical ability that both of them lacks. And I don't understand how they're gonna come back together. They're gonna need a super producer to come together to create something impactful if they come back. Because without him, they can't gel. Their egos are too big. They need somebody they equally respect, that understands the formula because he created it. And now that he's gone, they will never be the same. What I'm trying to say here, man, when you got something special, let it play out. Don't try to be the reason it's special. Don't try to figure out why it's working. God's doing something. And when he's doing it, let him do it. And when it's done and it's over and you know you reached that pinnacle, then you can start trying to go through it and dissecting and see why it works so good. Then you can go and experiment because you ain't going to get that magic back. God have lived his purpose. You reached the pinnacle. And if you don't reach it, you would just be an act that didn't reach its full potential. You would just be they belong in an era. That was their era. But they're not considered the end-all, be-all. Hey, man, like, comment, subscribe. If you feel like I said something dope, let me know. If you feel like I was capping, tell me I was capping. Tell your mama I said hi.
Diverse universe.